Hi and welcome to this week's episode of CresTV. Today we welcome Ranjan Singh, the Executive Vice President of Products and Technology for Crestron, and he's going to talk to us about COVID-19 and what it means for the AV industry. Welcome, Ranjan.
Thank you, Stuart. Good to see you.
So look, this is of course the craziest time that anyone can even remember, and even my mother, and she's 80, and she says this is the weirdest time. She actually thinks that alcohol poisoning would kill her, not COVID-19 lockdowns. So what is Crestron's learnings from COVID-19 and how will this affect end users and integrators in the way they go about their meetings in workplaces and universities?
You really want to get people comfortable, right? So if you think about you walk in from the door to the time you're sitting in your office or your cubicle or whichever environment, what will make you comfortable? And what will make somebody comfortable is information and safe access, if you like. We've had a cloud-rich environment for a number of years. We've had an XIO cloud offering. It's a very data-rich environment. And we think of every piece of equipment that we ever deploy in a university or a school or a building as a sensor. It's a piece of hardware. It serves a function, but it's also a sensor. Yeah. Now we are able to take advantage of those sensors to generate data, have all of that data in the cloud readily available, and we are building rules and alert engines to inform people. It could be the IT folks, it could be the operations folks, it could be people, produce dashboards, make people comfortable with information, right? Another equally important part, as you can imagine, is, well, how do you get everything working, right? You put up technology, you're not going to have people roaming around every room, every building with so much technology and sensors. So remote operations, remote management is absolutely key, right? And most importantly, remote recovery.
Very good. And so, coming back to that how do I get things working type of deal. So I'm in the room and the sensors there, and some things have switched on, and I can tell how many people are in the room, and I can see it remotely and whatever. But I guess if the sensor is one way, the other way I guess is I don't want to touch anything else except for my own device.
So there are a number of things that we are enabling, right, to enable that. One is you can think of, I don't want to touch anything, so it's some kind of an automated operation tied to, let's say, your badge access. So, Crestron is building RFID readers integrated into our scheduling panels. Other examples, of course, what are you most comfortable with? You're comfortable with things, devices, or things that you use on a daily basis. Yeah, mobile phone, my Apple Watch, right?
Yeah.
So to that end, actually, we're about to go into beta, and that mobile application not only enables you to control all of the room technology from your mobile app, but it is also can be a source of information for companies to feed employees, right? So you get notifications about the environment around you, how many people in the building, right? Yep. Or any notifications. But go into that app, the integrator can come in and use all the technology in the room and deliver that user experience on a mobile phone. No changes required, no new firmware upgrades, etc. It's basically a brand new mobile app that Crestron's going to deliver, and the integrator can carve out the experience for the end customer.
And it runs on the company Wi-Fi network?
No, it doesn't actually, right? So it's, obviously technology and mobile phones don't necessarily always sit on the same Wi-Fi network. You also, quite frankly, as you've seen solutions being advertised, you wouldn't want a web page served on a Wi-Fi. You walk out of the room and you're controlling the room from 5,000 feet away or 50 feet away. So no, we've put a lot of thought into the security aspect, to the proximity aspect, to make sure that the people who are intended to use the room. So we are using Bluetooth technology. We have Bluetooth sensors built into practically every user interface device that Crestron builds. So we are leveraging that built-in technology to deliver this experience. And of course, there's security, proximity, and all of those things.
So do you think, we put together a mobile cart type arrangement, the return of the AV trolley, and that's for I guess utilizing larger spaces with video conferencing and whatnot. But do you think they'll end up being smaller meeting rooms with less people or larger meeting rooms? I mean, this seems to be the zillion-dollar question, right? How are people going to reconfigure their meeting spaces?
Yeah, so it's an interesting question, and we had, as you can imagine, varying feedback, right, including Crestron itself. Small meeting rooms, some companies said they'll make the choice to close it out completely. No access to what were historically called small meeting rooms that accommodated maybe 5, 6 people. And they really want to convert their equivalent of their medium or large spaces as the primary meeting rooms when, phase 2, when they come back into the building in some capacity. That is the approach taken by some, and they're using our people counting technology and our XIO cloud solution to ensure that the requisite number of people and not more than that are going to use. Other companies actually say, you know what, I need to spread my folks out. And yes, I have cubicles and reconfigurable spaces, but maybe I can use these rooms, these small rooms, as guest offices or as temporary offices. So that further isolation. That's one example of reconfigurable space. The second example, as you alluded to, is there are, in instances, large open spaces, sometimes in the middle of the building or a location, and they do want to roll out technology into those spaces so it can be better utilized. They would be deemed the safest space.
All right, Ranjan, thank you for your time. I guess we all hope we get a magic needle soon. And if I'd paid more attention in science at school, I could have helped in that cause, but I didn't. So here we are. But and hopefully life will return back to some kind of normal.
Yeah, I hope so too, mate. And I really hope that since I've started at Crestron, I haven't had the opportunity to come back to Australia and see you and the rest of the team, because it's been a great place for us selling Flex and a unified comm solutions and all of the other technologies. So I'm really keen on meeting some of our customers and integrators in person. I hope that materializes soon.